I'm Ben.
I'm Ron.
I'm Chris.
I'm Jason. And this is Hometown Has-Beens. What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 9 of Hometown Has-Beens. Happy to be back here. We're going to start off with a quick a couple of shout-outs for some 5-star ratings and reviews from Chris Crump. He says it's a great podcast. He highly recommends it. He said these fools are funny in a regular setting, so it's even more so on a podcast. So maybe if you don't actually know us, you're getting the better of us. And then from Pie Baby 14, which is
Brittany Brown,
100%. She says real life, real people, and real funny. She claims that we're the real deal. That's to be determined.
We're all just trying to be as good as Brittany Brown.
Absolutely. She loves the banner and the fact that we keep it clean. Looking forward to new episodes every week. And we are too, guys. So thanks for continuing to follow the podcast. Share it with the people you know. It is growing, and we're excited for that. So this week, we've got a couple topics to talk about. Ryan is going to talk about when the universe gets revenge. And I've got some yard sale stories. And then we're going to round it off with a new segment, Stump The Superfan, the Office edition. So you guys have sent in some questions from the office trivia. We'll see how I do with them. All right. So Ryan's going to start us off.
All right. So 2 episodes ago, I made fun of my wife for having a coffee cup in the bed. And apparently when I got in the bed.
On the bed.
On the bed. On the bed. Like she was not attached to the coffee cup. And when I got in the bed, it spilled. And she said it was my fault. And then she made the statement, "You get in the bed so rough." And I made fun of her for that. Well, 2 nights ago, I wake up at 2 a.m. I'm going to get out of the bed to go pee. And I didn't realize this about myself, but apparently when I get out of the bed, I do I guess because my core is so weak, I do like a hip thrust upward.
That doesn't seem like an effective way to get out of bed.
I do a hip thrust upward, then slam my butt, and then I just pop up. I did my hip thrust and broke the bed. and now my mattress has a valley in it. Like,
you broke the mattress?
No, the
frame.
Yeah, well, like the thing
box spring?
No, the thing that goes across the boards that go across.
The boards underneath the box spring.
The support for the bed frame.
Yeah, I snapped that mug at 2 a.m. and it's scared and it's like, pow! And Allison woke up. She's like, "What happened?" I'm like, my fat butt just broke the bed at 2 a.m. So
maybe she's right. Maybe you are too rough. Like when you first told the story, I was like, "What does getting in bed too rough means?" Yeah. Well, if you're breaking stuff,
yeah, and that was
just probably too rough.
And that was getting out of it. Like that wasn't even getting.
We've got to try to keep this family friendly.
So sometimes the universe just has a way of like, and it happens to me all the time where I make fun of somebody doing something or,
which he really has no right to do.
No, I don't. But then I'll do that same thing. Like I made fun of my brother for being bald for years and all my babies come out bald and ugly. And,
but they all babies come out ugly and bald.
Well, I did the exact same thing though, except there was a buddy of mine that I worked with a long time ago. And when I started working at Ingalls, I was 19 and I had glorious hair, man. Like Lord, my hair was just great when I was young.
You did? Yeah.
Fun fact. I just thought of it. I got you.
And I used to just give him the hardest time about being bald. Like I would make fun of him every single day. And like now, I look like a baby. So,
oh man.
So I have a really good one of these stories too.
Yeah.
And also, universe gets revenge. That's just karma. That's called karma.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm saying it that way.
We don't believe in karma.
So we were talking about we were talking about how less mature we are than our wives. And, you know, you're as a man, you know, you're called to lead your family. You're always trying to assert your dominance in some way, you know, show you're better than your wife, you know, even though you're not, you know, you're trying
Tread
to
carefully.
Whoa. So, you know, I'm ahead. We're going to do what I say, you know, that even though you don't have the best ideas and you don't know she's smarter than you, all that kind of stuff. So we all have that struggle, whether you want to admit it or not. And so this was right after COVID. I had lost my wallet, which happens all the time. I had lost my wallet. And so, you know, one of the first things you do is you cancel your credit cards, your debit cards, and all of our bills.
The first thing I do is look for it.
Well, once you can't find it.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Chris. I'm just being a jerk.
Yeah, I can tell. And so we cancel all of our stuff anyhow. So this is months after that, after we canceled my debit cards and credit cards, that kind of thing. And all of our bills were on a credit card, debit card, of course, that kind of thing. So you get a call a couple months later. These people saying that they are Jackson EMC and that our bill has been paid in like 3 months and they're going to cut our power off here in like a day if it doesn't get paid. And I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, cause it was cause I had lost the card. I didn't know if we had set it back up to pay. I didn't know. And I'm like, all right, so yeah, this makes sense. Okay. So they're like, you know, just give us your card info. And my wife says, she hears the conversation. She goes, she's looking at me. She gets me off the phone. She goes, this is a scam. And I said, Renee, I need to take care of us. This is not a scam. They're going to cut our power off. You know, we all thought we were going to die during COVID anyways, you know, and so if you're if you're like me and you think the world's always going to end every day, I thought the world was going to end.
If you own a bunker.
The bunker was on. It was ready to go. I was going in every day, making sure we had everything in the bunker.
Cleaning it up.
Yeah.
So my wife's like, this is a scam. Do not do this. Do not give them our card. I said, Renee, I'm going to take care of this. Do you understand? I got this. I give them the card information. I pull on the bank account, and there's literally like $800 missing. Another $800. Like they're taking money out so fast. And I'm like, I'm losing it. I'm losing my mind. I'm like punching things. Like I go full bin on it. Like I'm throwing remotes.
Dude, how pissed was Renee though?
Well, here's the deal. If it would have just happened, that would have been one thing.
She's like, I told you.
But she's sitting there telling me not to do it.
Yeah.
Not to do it.
I mean, the thing is,
and I'm like, I'm such an idiot.
The people on the other end of the phone are probably just like, this is the only time it's ever worked for somebody that 90 years old. This is insane. This usually only works for old people.
If you're in charge of the finances for any Nigerian princes, you should call Chris. I got a guy for you.
He's the real world Michael Scott.
World's best boss, man.
Oh man, that's funny, man.
Dude,
it was terrible. Like,
I'm sure it was.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah.
Dude.
My wife's so much smarter than I am.
Also, just for future reference, I'm pretty sure they're going to send you something in the mail.
Oh,
if
yeah.
they're gonna cut your power off. They do it a
don't
lot.
call. Or they'll just turn it off. If you don't get it. But you know what? If they do, you just call them.
Wait.
And they'll turn it back on.
Come to find out, I had been paying my bills. There's nothing never been like, you know.
You paid somebody else's bills, too.
Are you?
Yeah, big time.
Are you Jackson EMC?
Yes.
Because that would have been awesome if you were like Georgia Power.
You didn't even know it.
Yeah. Man.
Oh, dude. So I got a karma story. Recently, me and the wife had like a little day date, and you know, there's not a lot to do when you only have a certain amount of time and all this. You go eat, whatever. It's the middle of the day. I was like, let's go look at trucks. You know, we just bought you a minivan. The guys are making fun of me. My truck's crap.
Been there. You got a T-shirt.
Yeah, I need to just look at trucks. She's like, no, because then you'll buy something. I'm not going to buy something. I told her, I said, you think these people can swindle me? She's like, I don't know. I said, baby, I've been saying no to homeless people my whole life. Like I know how to say no. All right. She's like, all right.
Are homeless people the hardest to say no to?
I think a lot of people just struggle with being like, because they're like, I can't give you some. And I'm like,
just don't look at them.
I just
Don't make eye contact.
No, I always just say no. Like
I
would, if
you're
they
supposed to call them like unhoused now.
I'm sorry.
That's the politically correct.
Homeless? That's the same. Okay.
Unhoused.
Unhoused.
Or
But I would like
bums.
I would always say like, I'll get you some food.
Losers.
Yeah, it's not like I'm just saying
Jeez,
you don't matter or anything like that. I would offer food. Like I will buy you a meal.
Yeah.
But I'm not just going to give you money because what you going to do with that money? I don't know.
Yeah.
You may go buy a meal, but I don't know. So anyways.
Yeah.
So we don't go look at trucks because whatever.
Yeah.
Have y'all ever got those things in the mail? This is what this is leading to. There's things in the mail, and I know they're a scam. Like, I know they are. That says, like, scratch this number and you could win one of these. Right?
It's like a check. They send you a check. Kind
No,
of
it's not a check. It's like a little spot where you scratch, and if your number matches, there's like 5 different prizes, and one of them's like 35 grand or $1,000 cash or a new car and all this other stuff. But we scratch it, and it says $1,000 cash, and I was like, time's kind of hard.
Time's tough.
I was like, Anna's like, should we check this out? I was like, well, we didn't check out the new car one we just scratched a few weeks ago, so maybe we should check this one out. Sounds more legit. Pretty sure it's from the same place.
No.
So I said, I'm not driving all the way there, and I won't say where it was, but I will like tell you the scam.
But you thought it might be legit.
I said, tell you what,
He said, I'm not driving all the way to Commerce. Okay.
it was a car. So I said, well, why don't we call them? And Anna's like, all right. I was like, I'm not going to call him. You call him. She's like, you never call anybody. I was like, I don't want to talk to people I don't know. So she calls him, and I hear the conversation, and I was like, this conversation should go differently, because she's like, hey, we got this scratch off thing from you guys. Is it legit? And I'm like, they're gonna say yeah. I was like, you need to like match some numbers or something.
Yeah.
She's like, it sounded really busy there, and I'm like, yeah, because they're sending out all these things telling people they won. So we go.
Y'all go down there?
We go down
You said I'm not driving down there, so we drive down there.
Is this a business?
Yeah, it's like a delership.
I'm feeling
Is it-
better and
hold
better
on.
about my story.
Is there
as
like-
far as this goes on.
Is there like a? Is it like a? How do you?
I should have brought it. Oh, he kept it. He kept the flyer. He didn't want me to tell people.
Is it like a? Like a Tim's Auto Nation, or is it like a
something like
Ford?
that. No,
like,
it's something
okay,
like that.
okay, so
it's not like
it's got.
it's not like
Okay,
yeah,
it's not
places
like
that sponsor concerts and stuff.
yeah.
I'm like, oh,
Those places are
anyways.
sketchy.
Yeah.
I go, and I was like, all right, well, we got this thing that says $1,000. She's like, yeah, let me get some information from you. So he asked all this stuff. I know he's gonna try to sell me something, but I'm good at saying no.
Yeah.
So I get through, and then he says, all right, so here's what we got to do. Like, he gets all the information he needs. He walks over to his prize board. That's what they call it. It's just the wall. They just staple things to the wall. So don't get excited if you're a fan of like Price is Right or something. We walk over, and he's like, all right, now these are the numbers that match right here.
Yeah.
And he looks at mine. He's like, yep, you got this. It is not $1,000 cash. All right. So it's 3 days and 2 nights vacation. And I was like, that's not bad.
That's not bad. Yeah.
I was like, you want to take that? I was like, yeah, we'll take that.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, so this scratch off thing that I did, it means nothing, right? Like it says 1,000. He's like, well, it means you won something. And I was like, oh, that was
False advertisement.
so. Anyways, I go look at a truck. And I'll tell you, I was so frustrated because I was like, $1,000 cash is.
Wait a minute. The guy's also selling trucks, or you go somewhere else to look at trucks.
No. It's the same place.
I thought we had already established this is a dealership. Did you think they were like dealing?
I thought we were joking about it. Was a place like a used car dealership.
No, it was a used car
It's an
dealership.
actual used
It's
car
a
dealership.
liquidation
Okay.
sale.
Yeah.
All right. So
Liquidation sale.
it is a very nice 2017 F-150. And I'm telling you, it was nice. And if my wife hadn't been there, I was so frustrated, I probably would have bought it. But she's like reminding me, like, hey, we don't need you to buy this.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, my truck. She's like, it still runs. I'm like, all right. So we get the little voucher for a 2-night, 3-day stay. And we should have done this before we accepted it. So we start driving. I was like, you need to call, because it had all these places you could stay, right?
Yeah.
But it just said cities, right? So she goes online and starts filling it out, and she was like, oh. And I was like, ah, crap. And she says, they'll put you in a motel with 2 to 3 star rating.
Oh,
That's why.
nice.
And so that was our prize that we chose.
But
That
it's
we
still free. Like it was free.
I'm not staying in a 2-star
It's like
hotel.
It's like $50 a night.
y'all ever seen National Lampoon's European Vacation?
Yeah.
And they like have the brochure and they show up and it's like, don't. That's
Yeah, that's exact. So I got swindled, and you know what the dead giveaway was? So I could have won.
Hold on,
like
it was on a scratch off in the mail. Like that's the giveaway for most people.
All right. Well, usually it's for me too. Apparently not. But anyways, so the prize I won was the 3-day 2-night vacation. All right, or something else. And we chose. You know what the or something else was?
I can't imagine.
A Bluetooth speaker. So
Let's go though.
no, but that should have been a dead giveaway.
Oh yeah.
That
yeah.
like if
Yeah.
if this is the same value as a Bluetooth
Is it
speaker, and we're
where
leaving.
was this? Where was the trip to?
Yeah.
Like
What city were y'all
Tacoma.
going? Was it for real?
Canton, Ohio.
Oh no, it was like
Budget in.
Myrtle Beach, Orlando. Like they were real places,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? But
Real.
I was so mad at myself. I said we should have took the freaking Bluetooth
Question:
speaker.
What did the guy look like? Like, what was his appearance like?
Was he over? All right.
Did he look
let's-
sketchy?
Was he?
Did the guy look sketchy? That's what I'm asking. Like, did he have a really weird mustache and long hair?
No.
and
Can you
no.
describe? Can you
No.
describe?
Yeah.
You're gonna
You want me to
offend
describe what I'm
everyone
thinking
right now.
about?
I know. It's like,
Dude, I applied for so when I was in between jobs, when I was still in sales, I applied for everything. And one of those same places, and I could tell you the place I actually get off that called me. There's one in Beaufort, one in Gainesville, and they called me like, hey, for an interview, and I go in there, and I didn't want to sell cars, but like I was just worried I wasn't gonna find a job, and so I go in there. This is probably 7 years ago, and this guy, like I talked to the manager or whatever, and he's like, yeah, you look good. I'm gonna let you talk to the owner. The owner comes in. He looks like a mob boss, dude. Like he has like slick back hair.
Heck yeah.
Like just like, I don't know, just like Italian looking. I don't know.
Yeah.
And he's like,
You talked to the Godfather?
and like literally all he says, he's like, how much were you making at your old sales job? And I told him, he's like, oh, you're gonna make so much more than that here. And he's like, this is our thing. We sell cars to people that can't afford it, and then we repo it, and then we sell it again. So we make triple the money because we sell it 3 times.
dude, what a sleaze
And I was
bag.
like, I'm just not gonna work here, but
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
and I'm
I
probably going to
left.
report you to somebody.
And now I'm on a
sleaze
podcast
bag.
talking about it. So if anybody, well, I mean, I don't think it's technically illegal. I mean, because they do
it's
in-house
not illegal.
financing.
Yep.
They know these people can't. He said, this is literally what he says to me. He goes, the people that buy cars from us are desperate. They show up in a taxi, so we know they have to leave in a car.
Right.
Oh,
So
And usually I've talked to people who've been in those situations. They end up having payments every 2 weeks, and their payment's like $400 for like a nothing car.
Yeah.
They're paying that payment every 2 weeks.
yeah,
I
And
feel
they
like-
don't have the money.
and then when
like-
they miss a payment, they go take
and
it
the
back.
car's not worth $10,000.
Right.
I feel like
Well,
you
this,
should
this,
say the
this
names.
truck was worth.
I'm not.
Jason, look, Jason is like, yeah,
I almost left with that truck.
you know
Listen,
what?
You know what was funny too? Is
like-
he's going out there showing me this truck, and Anna's probably like rolling her eyes, and she says, "Did you hear the people that were coming in? Because this is bringing people in." But if you saw the demographic of people, and by that I mean they were much older than me,
Yeah, like
so it was the same
Same thing
situation.
with
Like
Chris.
they're just trying to get old people in here.
What if it was the same place? Like the guy that told me that is the guy.
I'm sorry.
He's
I don't
like,
think
you,
so. No, I didn't see.
feel
you wouldn't believe the scam we run with these people.
Oh,
We tell them they can have a vacation.
The guy offered me 3 months without a payment.
of course, yeah,
He was like, "What's your credit score?" And I was like,
Jason,
and I told him a number, and he was like,
Jason,
"Dude, you could have this truck."
you came in.
Yeah, because the only people that go there, they don't even have a
Yeah.
credit score. It's like,
yeah, have heard
zero.
of credit.
Yeah, yeah, it was a callback. Anyways, so that was me getting swindled, but I then went to and ate some good barbecue. So it was a win-win.
Well, you know,
The food was a win.
how long did you spend doing this?
Not a long time, but like longer than it should have been.
Yeah, you don't want to say.
It's like one of those.
It was way less than an hour. Way less.
What do you call the vacation places where you can like go? How
Timeshare.
Yeah, is it like a timeshare for like a timeshare?
Dude.
A
Talking about
timeshare
rip-off.
for a vehicle?
No, like similar to like
That'd be
how long it takes if you ever go to one of those
Oh,
timeshare
no.
things.
It was nowhere
It
near that
takes
long.
all day to get
I was-
out of it. You know,
listen,
similar.
As much as I wanted that truck, I looked at my wife and she's like shaking her head no.
Yeah.
So I tell the guy, I was like, look, you ain't gonna get that thing for less than $20,000. She's like, oh no, it's not less than that. And I said, I'm not paying more than that.
Yep.
And he was like, even if I give you 3 months without a payment, and I was like, she's in charge and she's telling me no. So what do you want me to do?
I mean, the thing, you don't really want to buy vehicles from places like that anymore.
The
I don't
next
really
time-
want
You
to
don't
buy a
know
vehicle
what-
Like
ever.
mechanically, they just, like if you go to a more reputable dealership, they're gonna at least make sure it's decent mechanically, so that it's not a pain in the butt for them. You know what I mean? Like, but those places like that, dude, they'll spray paint. Like I worked with this lady one time, and her son turns 16 and gets a job, goes and buys his own like little, I don't know, like Acura car or something, and like after like a month or two, he starts having problems. So they take it to like this shop or like their buddy, and like they jack it up and look under it. And this car had been up north and it was just like rusted.
Oh,
and this
no.
place had like
many.
like spray painted the rust.
Yeah.
and like there was places that like there were like I'm not a car person, but like where metal was supposed to be, it had like completely rusted out, and they'd taken like spray foam and then just like spray foamed it and then like shaped it and then spray painted it black to look like that. And so like I mean the car was just like worthless. And
So, you know, you can buy things that need fixing when you can fix stuff.
If you're a person
Yeah.
that can do that kind of thing.
Like I'm not capable of that. So I decided that I was gonna buy a truck off Gov Deals or something. What is that? What Gov
like
Deals?
the auction, they auction all the government vehicles.
So I bought a truck off Gov Deals. It was a drug repossession.
Yeah.
It was located in Chattanooga, Tennessee. I sent my mom and dad after it. I'd never seen it. I just bought it.
Wait, how much can I ask how much you paid for this thing? What was it and how much did you pay
It was
for
a F-150, and I mean this was a couple years ago, so I paid like $9, I think. All right, and I mean it had less than and the Carfax slide. Because what I found is if you fix something like if you don't take it somewhere where they report it to car, like it don't do anything. Like it could be in a wreck, and if you just don't, like
Well, how do you think Carfax works? Like it's like
I don't know.
Like they just
They know.
Like it's like
They have people
But
everywhere.
I thought maybe
It's
like if you were in
created
a
by God. Like they just
well, no, like I thought maybe like if you were in a wreck or whatever. I don't know. I've never seen a police report. I've never been on one. But
That's
I
not
figured
true.
maybe
That's not
they.
true.
I think it has to
Oh,
be.
yeah.
I think it has.
A lot of them.
I think it has to be
so many
reported to
wrecks.
insurance.
Yeah. Oh, I've only had one.
You've
With
been
us.
involved
My
in so many,
My friends have a lot of wrecks with me in the car
or driving your car.
or driving my car. But anyway, all right. So I buy this car, send my mom and dad up to Chattanooga, Tennessee to get this thing on a weekday. I'm pretty sure they had to take off work because I told them I couldn't take off work.
Did you have the same job you have now?
Yes, I was a teacher, so I'm like,
Jeez.
yeah. No,
In June, you ask him to go get it.
no. It was like May. I mean,
Times have
it's-
changed.
Yeah, so they go up there. My mom has to drive this truck back from my mom or dad one have to drive this truck back from Chattanooga, Tennessee, and the top speed that it will go is 45.
That's terrible.
They were so aggravated at me. I was like,
Which one of them drove the truck?
I think my mom started in it, and then I think maybe they switched because dad's like, I'll get no, it was bad, and I was like, so they text me like, all right, we got the truck. Da, 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 da. And then I call mama like an hour later. And I'm like, hey, how's it going? She's like, real slow. Yeah, it was bad.
What was wrong with it?
It needed a lot of things. So
What did you do with it?
I gave it to my cousin after I drove it for a while, and then I was like, man, this thing's crazy. And I knew it had problems, so I wasn't gonna make it. So I just gave it to my cousin.
You get so you.
He-
so stupid tax. So you.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Let's talk
yeah.
about stupid tax. What
Oh,
have
yeah.
you paid for that you were like, oh, looking back, that was dumb. Like I imagine here, you're like, here's
Yeah.
$10,000.
Yeah, no, that was I don't know. That was probably I'm pretty
Is that the worst stupid tax you've ever had?
Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty financially, like
I'll tell you the one that car got me. So, Ben, remember this. I was like, my wife needed a car, and I was going to surprise her with one. And I wanted like a BMW X5. Like, those look so good.
good Lord.
I couldn't afford a BMW. What
Yeah,
was I
because you're
thinking?
paying Jackson EMC $800 a month.
And so I got this guy who is in the used car business, and he's at an auction. I'm like, hey, if you find one, let me know. So he calls me one night, and he's like, here's what I got.
Yep.
He's like, man, I think it's a good deal. I don't know. You don't ever know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, pull the trigger. So he buys it. So now I gotta buy it. You know what I mean? I gotta get it.
Yeah.
So I get it, and I'm like all excited, and I surprised and it was a slick, man. Like it was awesome. It was the most fun car I've ever drove in my life. Like it really was a fun car. But
Until it wasn't.
do you know
When they mess up.
do you know who can work on a BMW?
Not
And two,
many
do you know
people.
how much it costs to take a BMW to the shop?
German
Yep.
engineered, man.
Yeah.
I spent so much money. So I remember going to the BMW dealership in Athens first time when it needed fixing.
Something.
Because it would just like quit on my wife like in the middle of the road. Like it would just shut down. Like something goes down, it shut it down.
That's safe.
So I take it to, I had to haul it. I had to get my grandpa. We haul it to the BMW place in Athens because they're the only place that can and will work on it.
Yeah.
And I remember I'm sitting there and this lady's also in there and
Hold on,
she's in front of me.
Did you and your grandpa go get a pedicure while y'all waited on the car to get done?
That may have been true.
Or did you go by Goodwill and get some underwear?
Fight a monster? I'm sorry. Okay, go ahead.
So I knew I was in the wrong place when they asked the lady in front of me at the counter, hey, you just bought this brand new BMW. Would you like to buy the $25,000 maintenance package? No. And she, without even thinking, goes, yeah, that's fine.
Oh my gosh.
And I thought, I'm in the wrong place. Like, this is bad.
Yeah, dude.
And then they handed me the bill. Yeah. I was like, I got to go get a loan for car maintenance.
I'm doing that right now. I got a Lincoln and the water pump is going to be like $3,000. I'm like,
So I'll tell you.
A water pump?
Yes, dude. Because they put it in the engine. I guess you got to take the whole engine out. Freaking.
Who'd you take it to? You can tell me later.
Okay. Several
man.
different.
Stupid tax.
But yeah, stupid. All right, can
Stupid
I got one more karma story.
Yeah,
I think people
tell it.
can
Relate to?
yeah. So
Or laugh at.
when I was about 17 or 18, my father got a kidney stone. And when my dad gets kidney stones, he gets apparently they hurt really bad. So he comes out and you could tell he has agony all over his face. I mean, just, oh God, Ryan. He's like, Ryan, will you, can you take me to the emergency room? I'm like, yeah, I was going to do this thing over here, but yeah. And he's like, just please take me. I'm like, all right, let's go. Get in the truck. And we get in the truck and I'm like, Dad, hold on, I'm gonna run in and get something to drink. Like he's dying of pain, and
We're gonna be there. I've been in waiting rooms before, Dad. You've taken me there.
so I run
Made me
in.
wait forever.
I run in, fix me a drink. I'm going down the road and I'm driving. I'm going the speed limit because my dad's with me. He's like, son, can you please go faster? I'm like, yeah. So we get there. My dad, I guess he's on the 1 to 10 scale of pain. I guess he's at a 9.5 because he's making sounds like, oh gosh, and this is when I
Why
know
do you always make sounds?
I don't.
Every time he tells a story.
Well, because people in my life make sounds. I don't know. So look, but here's when you know you're a bad person. He's over here like, I mean, you can tell the agony is on his face, and people who've had kidney stones. I'm looking at him.
Are you telling him to shut up?
And I'm
Dad,
like,
could you be a little quieter?
embarrassing me, Dad.
I am so embarrassed. like
At the emergency room.
Yes. And like, I feel like no one is looking at us, but I feel like everyone's dude, I get up and I walk like 10 chairs down and sit away from him.
No.
And my dad, he's obviously a believer. He's a pastor, and he's sitting there. He's like, Jesus. Jesus. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not sitting over here. I walk away, and I'm like, I get home and I tell my mom, I'm like, Mom, there is no way that there's that much pain coming from a little kidney stone. And then I had one.
Oh.
And dude, it is legit. Like a kidney stone, it's bad.
Okay, so
like, it's
was
bad.
it worse than the birth simulator that you...
Oh, for sure.
Really?
Yeah, dude, for sure. Yeah.
So I
yeah.
guess we settled that debate.
Yeah, yeah. That's people don't want 2 kidney stones, but they'll have 2 kids. So I could have a baby. I've been saying it. Now I can prove it.
Yeah, I mean, we do live in a world where men can have babies, so go for it.
Do we? I don't think. Do we?
I still want to know what that movie is where Arnold Schwarzenegger's pregnant.
There's a movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger being
I've
pregnant.
mentioned this before. Y'all just
Ryan wants to be
There's like
one of
a-
the pregnant people.
I
there's like
don't.
I
I don't want to be pregnant. I just want to prove that I could do it. Like I could do it.
all of our female listeners, please don't unsubscribe.
No, don't unsubscribe. Just send me hate mail like a normal person.
Listen, seeing my wife give birth to 2 kids, I couldn't do it.
I didn't.
Dude,
I didn't
I'm telling
watch.
you.
I didn't watch.
So Anna had to have a C-section.
Where were you? Like outside the room? Like
No,
Hank Hill?
we were making.
He had to go get something to drink.
I had
I got to go home, fix me something to drink, babe. I'll be back.
I had immaculate eye contact. Like I was not. Nope.
Dude.
Nope. Not doing that.
So
No.
Anna had a C-section, and I'd never been in a room where someone's giving birth. But they tell me not to look over the sheet, so I don't do it because the doctor said it, and I'm gonna listen to him. I'm not gonna go to the doctor, but if the doctor tells me not to do something, I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah.
All right. So, anyways, after Inslee comes out, Anna's like out of it, kind of, because they give you so much stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
And I remember I remember vividly, like standing between my newborn baby and my wife, and in my mind making a decision because I thought Anna was dying, and that's a newborn baby, and it's going to need somebody. So I was like, just standing there, like, who do I go to? So then I looked at Anna and I was like, I'm so sorry. And
Just walk away.
and then went over to
Man.
to my new child. But she was fine. She was just out of it. Like she was not dying.
Dude,
Everyone-
the
she was safe.
doctors, I mean, rightfully so, I guess, but the dads don't exist in that delivery room.
I cut the umbilical cord.
I did on
Oh.
the first one. The second one, it was pretty crazy. Like Molly, when she came out, had the cord was right around her neck, and it like it wasn't like strangling her, but the way it was like around there, it like put tension on it, and it like ripped. And so blood start spewing everywhere.
Oh,
It was
no,
crazy. And so then they had to like clamp it, and like the doctor was the same guy delivered both our kids. He was awesome. But like Hudson's was nice and smooth. And I cut it, but Molly was born at like midnight, and that blood spewed. And I was like, it finally gets over, and I'm like, I'm freaking hungry.
What? What?
It's not what I thought you were going to say.
And so we go, and so this is during COVID. This is June of 2020. Like this is so there's nobody in the hospital. There's nothing open. It's midnight. The only thing open is Waffle House.
Yep,
So I go to Waffle House. I walk in. And there's I'm not even thinking about it. Like and I'm going to pick up my food, and they're like, "What happened?" There's like blood all over my shirt.
Oh, God.
And I was like, it's a long story. But anyways,
You should have told that long story.
Yeah,
They
dude.
probably called 911 after. It's like,
pretty
some
sure-
guy just
yeah,
came in and
searching
ordered
for you.
waffles.
Dude,
He's probably wanted.
me and my brother told the nurse the same thing. When they're like, "You want to cut the umbilical cord?" Me and my brother both said, "That's why we're paying you." So no, we do not. wanna
Dude,
do
it's-
that.
It was weird.
Dude, they don't prepare. So Rylan, when he came out some kind of awkward angle, and his head turned into a cone. Like
Oh yeah.
picture the cone head. Yeah, I didn't know that. You go into these situations and you're not prepared.
Yeah.
So this baby comes out. That's mine, and he's got this cone head. Like I mean,
wrap it up in the
is-
cutest beanie, and you think everything.
it is so like it is a cone, like the movie cone head.
Oh man,
Picture
I'm
a baby
seeing it right now.
Yeah, so he comes out and he's got the lady's like, "Oh, hey little buddy, you're so cute." I'm like, "No, something is wrong." Like we gotta fix, and that's what I was like, we have to fix that What's wrong with his head?
Get this kid a helmet.
Yeah, like I'm freaking out. I think God had given me a conehead baby, and I'm like, I care about this little guy, but I'm like, he's something's not right. He's got it, and no one is talking about the conehead. I'm sitting there, and no one.
You just don't know that.
And
that's a thing.
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh, hold it. You want to hold?" And they give him to Alice. I'm like, no. She don't know how to fix this cone head. We got to get someone to fix the cone head, and then we can hold it and love it. And we would have loved him. But you know what I'm saying? Like, let's get him some medical attention before we give him parental attention. But no one was. Well,
I'm surprised that y'all act like that you had a choice to be involved. Like, I'm just both times I'm just standing there like, all right, Dad, leg, and I'm like, what? Nope. Like, hold a leg, and I'm like,
I ain't doing that.
Okay.
Nope.
So they told me what to do, and I just did it. Like,
nope.
The scariest thing to me about having babies was the first one, like when you don't know anything.
Yeah.
And after you have the baby, you're in this room, and then they make you watch these videos.
The videos.
If your baby starts choking, do this. And then I couldn't figure out how to rewatch the videos. So I'm like, you need to pull that back up. Yeah. Like, this baby chokes. Because the mama's exhausted. Yeah. Rightly so.
She ain't looking.
And she's asleep. And that baby's not going to sleep. And now you're the one. And then
you're in charge.
The poor nurse we had, she was so sweet, but she was a very, an older lady, maybe 50s, Hispanic.
That's not
understand. Old. I say, she was old. In other words, what I mean by that, she was like a very strong in her mannerisms. Like, she was like, you do this, you do this, you do this, you do this. And I'm like, I don't know what you're saying. And then she just leaves. And I can't get anybody back. And I've got a baby. And now I'm scared to death because of these videos and all these 8 things I've got to do if these things happen. 1, I can't feed the baby. 2, I don't know how to. You can milk anything with nipples. So that's true.
I filmed the nurse swaddling Rylan so I would know how to swaddle.
Wow.
That's a coaching move.
We did.
It was real weird.
I'm going to watch film on this.
I said, can I film you? And she was like, yeah.
So our last baby we had, our Henry, there was a nurse. She was a younger lady. She was the baby whisperer.
So you was talking about nurses. I don't want to say somebody's dead and they're not, but I'm pretty sure she is. I still remember.
Do you keep in touch with the nurses?
Yeah. No, like this woman.
She said yes.
Like,
that's like common practice.
Listen, she was.
I don't even know their name.
I don't either.
Her name was Mary Bridges. And she legit. This is with Hudson. Hudson, how old are you? You'll be 9 next month, right? All right. So this is 9 years ago, and this woman legit was the best person, best nurse. She had been doing it forever. She was not super old, but she was just incredible. And she was kind of like a hard butt on Savannah. She'd be like Savannah does not take medicine well, and she would force her to. She'd be like, no, you're taking it now. And when we first meet this woman, we're like, holy cow, she's scary. By the time we left, man, she's the reason I know her is because I just her and Savannah became friends on Facebook, and but she had had cancer, I think, and had I think it was her lungs, and had one lung. She only had one lung. I don't want to speak necessarily for her, but I think that she did pass away eventually. But man, she was incredible. It's because you were talking about how you don't know anything.
And you're scared to death.
And this woman, she was like, "Oh, they're fine." And this baby would start choking, she'd just whip it up and smack it on the back a few times. And
I'll tell you what, now who knew that Hometown Has-Beens was going to have a nice little sentimental moment?
But she.
Shout out to nurses. Shout out.
Yeah, nurses are. Yeah, they're good
in delivery rooms and whatever the room. What's the hall you called after you have the baby? What's that hall called?
Mother
Maternity ward.
Yeah, man, those people are saints.
Yeah, that's where she was at. Was in Mother Baby. So they're the ones that come in all night while you're in there, and and
I don't know. Dude.
We stayed in touch with one lady that when we had Watson, our first child. She was awesome. She stayed because Renee was in labor for 3 days. It was crazy. She was amazing. Yeah. And this lady refused to go home. She's like, I'm staying with you through this.
I think there's some legality issues there.
So, yeah.
But I was just like, how?
Oh, no. They're nurses are built, they're built different.
They are.
How amazing, Yeah.
So, and I'm not trying to, I probably shouldn't say that because, never mind.
All right.
But I just saw a comedian recently, and his opener, it's not even him, but his opener, his whole set just like bashing nurses.
Man.
Like,
It's cold.
Dude, that's sticking to your guns.
it was it was really funny though.
I'll talk about old people sometimes, but
it was hilarious. It was really good. I don't remember the dude's name because he was like the opener, but
I mean, people bash teachers too. So.
yeah, I mean it was fun. If he'd have done something similar, like you know.
Yeah.
Last week or recently, I think it was last week, we talked about Facebook Marketplace a little bit. I'm going to talk about the OG Facebook Marketplace, which is yard sales. All right. So do y'all remember like going to yard sales as a kid? Like there's signs.
I remember the
signs.
we didn't go to yard sales a lot,
But you at least saw the signs, right?
Yeah.
All right. So the concept in general is just weird, right? Yeah. Like I'm going to put a bunch of this crap that I don't want out on my lawn.
Yeah.
And then you're going to come to it and we're going to haggle over whether this is worth 40 cents or 25 cents. Yeah. Knowing good and well that the stuff that doesn't sell, you're just going to move a little closer to the road and let the trash pick it up because obviously you're too lazy to take it to Goodwill. Otherwise, you wouldn't have a yard sale.
Goodwill, baby.
Right?
Yeah.
So
Just offended half our audience.
no, dude, yard sales are not big anymore. And I think American Pickers kind of ruined it because now everybody thinks their trash is a treasure.
Dude, they had this established expectations.
Yeah,
It's
like
unrealistic.
this is gonna be worth like $1,000 at least. No, that's still a nickel.
No,
Like,
no one wants your great grandmother's wedding dress.
sorry,
You know.
she didn't want it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why she gave it to you.
They were poor. They just had to get what they could get.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
I'm just saying. Anyway, so my grandmother is of that era, and I love this woman. But for like 30 years, she has had a yard sale like it's a business basically. Like she bought like a she shed back in the day before it was she sheds. It was like little tin buildings.
She said.
So for 30 years, she's had this thing, and it's like 24/7, 365. That yard sale's open. I'm not kidding.
For
like
real?
you could go today, and my grandmother would sell you something in her yard sale.
Do you think she would sponsor?
Where's it at?
our podcast?
It's 2 doors down from my house. Like,
Okay.
Go see, what?
Shout out. What's her bit? What's it called? Does she have?
Does she have a name for it?
yard sale. What do you,
like a business name?
like
She should call it She Shed Yard Sale. That was hard to say. She
Say that
she
5
sells-
times fast.
she shed yard sale.
sales.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was there a she shell?
Maybe I should make her T-shirt. She might like that.
Yeah. She
She'd probably sell them.
I
She'd
can't.
probably sell them.
She said, yeah, in her she shed.
No, but like, and when I was a kid, like it was cool because you could always we'd go to my grandmother's every Sunday and eat lunch, and she'd always like go out in the building and get you something. That was cool.
You go
like, it
find
was a
you
nice,
like a
fun, sentimental. I mean, little toys and stuff. Like I remember when we had yard sales, I was like, I'm gonna be rich. So I'd like put my clothes out there that I thought people were gonna get that I wasn't wearing anymore, And at the end of the day, my parents always give me the same amount of money, so I don't think I'm pretty sure I wasn't selling as much. But I do remember one time where like I played with those like WCW, WWF,
Yeah, dude.
like wrestlers all the
Wolfpack.
time. Yeah,
Yeah.
played with
Dolls.
them all the time.
They're
All right?
dolls.
Yes, action figures. Well, eventually I was like at the age where I was like, all right, I'm done. I don't even watch anymore. I don't play with them anymore. I'm going to sell them. I'm going to sell them all.
I never quit watching.
So I put them in this giant tub and like had them for like, I don't know, $1 a piece or something, right? Or $2, I don't know. Because they're like $10 toys. And oh man, if I had all the money that I spent on those little things. Anyways, I remember like a mom bought the whole set for a kid for $100, and I thought I was rich.
Oh, dude, yeah.
That was so cool to me.
Captain Insano, show no mercy.
$100 when
Captain
you're, when you're a
Insano
kid
set
though,
for
man.
mercy.
Dude.
Like, dude, it costs $100 to fill my truck up now.
Oh,
And
man, yeah.
like, but you were talking about, so your family had yard sales, not just your
and,
grandma.
and went to yard sales.
Oh, y'all did.
So
y'all did both.
I think I only ever had one yard sale after my parents got divorced, so I wasn't that young. But we never had yard sales because I come from a sentimental bunch. Like we don't want to get rid of anything.
That's how them porters are too.
Like
That's how them hoarders are.
for sure. Like Savannah's not that way at all, and she'll go in our kids' room And like, there's toys Hudson and Molly haven't touched in years, and she'll be like packing them up. I'm gonna take these to Goodwill. I'm like, but what if he wants to play with it? You know? Like,
Oh my
I
god!
so
like,
understand
Dad,
this.
I didn't play with it at that age.
like I don't know, man. But we've gotten where we just try not to spend money on toys because of that reason. Because I can't get rid of them; they just junk up our house.
Yeah.
But and Hudson's old enough now that I can buy him baseball stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like I just find stuff that I want and then just buy it for him.
There you go.
But
Problem solved.
you're talking about American Pickers and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
that dude, and the people that think this stuff's so. When I first got married and we lived in that basement down there, there was an auction.
The
in
one with the
Commerce.
toilet in the kitchen.
Yes, there was an auction that opened up in Commerce, and it really was a cool auction. And right when it opened, like, you could go get really good deals on stuff, like, because nobody went. It would be like,
Right.
So me and Chris went for the first time, and you know how like you just luck into stuff the first time and think that it's like a thing.
Like the baseball card?
Yeah, that's what he's talking about.
So
Like,
this is the same
all the time.
situation. So me and Chris go to this auction, and we've never been to an auction before. We don't even know how to like bid on stuff, but we figure it out.
I think you just raise your hand.
And so
much
we're there.
fun.
You should
And-
have brought me because
Dude.
I also went to auctions with those same grandparents.
Listen though, so we're there. There's only like 6 people here because it just opens.
Yeah.
The first few auctions, there's just a few people,
Average age.
and so
Oh, we are
We're
by far.
so
50 years
They
younger
have
than
a
everybody.
like dining room table, with chairs, and
Oh, it's
like,
nice.
and we bid on it.
Yeah.
And we get it for like $12.
This is like it is.
There's
nice,
so much
dude.
adrenaline.
And so we get this dining room table for $12 and take it back to my basement. And Savannah rightfully is like, "What are you going to do with
Wasn't
a
it
dining
like
room
the diner, old diner kind of table?
No.
Like that wasn't it.
No, I had one of those, and I don't know what happened to it. So if anybody knows what happened to my red table out there,
I thought that was
my
what we got at the auction.
No, this was an oak table.
Okay. Yeah.
And so we were like, whatever we could do with this table. So we put
You didn't even need it?
You just
no, it was $12.
Sounds like a hoarder.
Solid oak. So, anyways, so we get back and we're like, what are we gonna do with this thing? So we put it on Craigslist. Within an hour, we sell it for $100.
oh shoot.
And I'm like,
Yep.
this is our business.
Yeah, we thought we had a business right there.
And so we go back the next weekend with our profits.
Yeah.
And we buy all kinds of just stupid junk. Like clocks and just like stupid stuff. Posted on eBay and Craigslist, never sold another
So
thing.
the worst-
I bought hundreds of dollars worth of just bull crap. Never sold another
The
thing.
worst thing.
I can't-
I still did not know how the auction really worked. We're there. Being in Savannah.
After a
and
Chris is like,
I'm
this is
dating
why I
Renee.
don't go back.
So my name is Chris. I'm a hoarder.
Oh, I got another option.
I'm
too.
bad hoarder. Like, and you talking about throwing, my wife throws everything away, and I'm thankful for that because if not, you'd be having like there'd be a path through my house with boxes. Like, I'm a hashtag hoarder, but my wife isn't. She's the very opposite of that, and I thank the Lord for that. But we're at this auction, and I'm like, I just want to buy something. Like, it's so like everybody's bidding, and I didn't know like what I wanted. Everything's too expensive. I didn't have any money. I'm in college, and anyhow, so they have this set of Coca-Cola pencils. I'm like, that's cool. Nobody's bidding on it. I'm like, I want it, and I bid. I'm like, $1, and they're like, the lowest bid's $5. And I'm like, no, I just want like $1. They're like, no, the lowest bid's $5. And I'm like, okay. So I get to the counter. I had to pay $5 for every pencil in the pack. Yes.
So it wasn't like
There's
a,
like 10 in the pack.
They were Coca-Cola.
$50. Do you know that once you buy something in an auction and you don't pay for it, there are legal
dude.
repercussions.
Yeah, like when you sign. So listen,
You sign up and get the little number to
Yeah.
bid with.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to have to pay for whatever you bid on.
so we used to.
So I had the most expensive
Pencils.
Coca-Cola.
Do you still have them?
Yes.
So
framed.
for everybody out there that don't know, we used to play poker every week for I don't know 2 or 3 years. We'd play every single like Tuesday or Thursday or something like that.
Yeah.
And so at this same auction, I bought a poker table, and I bring this thing home, and I'm so proud. I paid $15 for that poker table,
Oh dang, that was
and
good.
they had 2 of those tables, and on the poker table had a Playboy bunny on it. I was a grown man with a Playboy
forgot
bunny
about
poker
that.
table,
It did, didn't it?
but they had 2 of them. And to show how this auction like progressed is we were at the very first one. I buy this table for $15 with the intention I'm going to sell it. I just never did because I thought it was cool. So, and we played poker. I needed a poker table.
Yeah.
So Like a month later, we go back. The other one sold for like $300.
That is crazy.
And I paid, and so that auction got so popular. They start bringing stuff in. They had like Civil War swords selling for like thousands of dollars.
Oh, yeah.
And that's when I was like, I think we should find another auction. So we did.
This other auction is
so me and
hilarious.
Chris, we decided we're going to be like American Pickers or something. So
We're
we're
all
like, dude, I
its
used to go to
own.
estate sales. But anyways,
Oh,
so
let me talk
one
about that in a
that one
second.
gets popular. And so like we gotta branch out, go find a cheaper one again. We gotta be on the. So we go to one in Clarksville, and we roll up at this place. And dude, when I say down home, I mean like it's down home.
Was it rough with 2 F's?
Yeah. So
It was terrible.
you know why I say that?
I don't know, but that's the funniest
Because it's
joke
like
ever.
it's like a dog. So anyways, so if I call you rough with 2 F's, I'm calling you a dog. Anyways, so we go to this auction. It's in Clarksville, right across. It's not there anymore. It was right across from the Mexican restaurant in Clarksville. And we go in there, and I look around. I'm like, Chris, I don't know if this is like our place. And they bring out the first item, and it's a lunchroom size can of peaches.
Go ahead.
We leave this place. The only thing we had bought. Well, actually, we bought
was
two
a
things.
lunchroom
I,
size.
no, I bought a skill saw, which is a good purchase for a little bit of it.
Yeah.
Chris bought an expired master case of Star Crunch Little Debbie's.
I was like the boss of this party. I was handing out Star Crunches everywhere.
He had like 400 of them,
Oh my goodness.
Star Crunches.
and they were out
I
of
could
date.
not believe it. I was like, did I just buy this many Star Crunches at an auction?
To this day, that's the
Oh,
only
man.
time I've ever eaten a Star Crunch. Was those
By the
expired-
way, you left that skill saw in my truck. That thing lasted forever.
yeah, I didn't even know what happened to it, but I probably paid like.
I stole it.
We went to another one. Gosh, dude, I bought a day bed one time.
I remember that day bed. We tried to sell that day bed
What is
on
a
Craigslist.
daybed?
It's
for
like, you know, like the sides are kind of side. It's like back and
The
sides.
headboard is on the side.
Of course, Jason knows.
But it's like a-
he knows
You know what I
furniture
mean?
names.
It's like a small twin
He is
size
the
bed
furniture
that
guru.
like has a frame all the way around it except on one side,
Yep.
kind of like an adult crib.
It's like a couch,
an
but
adult crib.
a bed.
This one was like a Victorian style day
So
bed.
I like sanded it and painted it, like thinking I'm gonna be like, man, this.
We
is
thought we were
nice.
gonna make so much money on this.
Nobody wanted it.
Nobody wanted
Where is it now?
I left it in that basement. I'm pretty sure.
with the toilet.
Yeah,
In the toilet in the kitchen.
dude, I was the worst. Like if
Where did you put all this stuff? Man?
one half of it was unfinished.
Yeah.
And so that whole side was just full. I had another bed that was like a wood bed. I bought it. Like that, dude, I'm telling you, it filled up with just junk.
It was
that
so
I
much
couldn't
fun.
say- the only thing we ever sold was the first thing. and that's the point. Is like I get lucky the first time I do something, and then it hooks me, and I think they're like, oh man, I'm about to be rich.
I'm gonna.
Yeah.
We need to find something that you haven't done yet, and
So
just do it once.
just do it once.
yeah,
So
like make a podcast.
you there we go. We're
That
going
first
for it.
episode was really good.
I think they've gotten better.
They have gotten better.
You said something about estate sales, which I have a theory on them too. Estate sales are like yard sales, but you're too lazy to put it in the yard. Now, I think there's like a logical explanation
You're just like, come
to
on
estate,
in.
yeah, to estate sales, like you're moving or someone passed away and you're going to sell the house, whatever. My mother-in-law, when they sold their last house before the one they're living now, they had an estate sale, and you know, like everything was going right. She's like keeping up with people who come in because she's like managing the thing. And she's like, oh, I lost this one couple. I lost where they went. So she like goes into a room and they're in her closet looking through her clothes that she is not intending to sell.
Oh my gosh.
The wife is like, I like this. Like, it'll fit
This
me.
is nice.
She's like, those are my personal clothes.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, everything in here is your personal things.
I was at an auction one time in Gainesville. It was not an auction, an estate sale.
How many cities did you hit on this tour?
No,
man?
this was an estate sale. This is when I was working in Gainesville, and
Did you,
like,
see it on Google?
no, not on Google Maps. I was just driving. I could know exactly where it was at.
Oh, I'm sure you did.
So I was just driving down the road. It was like, ooh, estate sale. Like you can ask Hudson. We were riding the golf cart like 2 nights ago, and there was a sign for an estate sale like out front of a house. I was like, ooh, an estate sale. They weren't doing it yet, so I didn't go in. But like, I noticed it because it made me excited. Like I got a little like
I've
butterflies in
never
my stomach.
been, but I've always wanted to go.
Dude, it's just like gambling again. Maybe
I've never
this is
been
rooted
to the
like try to find valuable things and like
Can we all go to the estate sale together?
Dude, we
Can
need
we?
to.
I've never
all right,
been.
let me tell
I
this story real quick. But we need to go to an auction. Auctions are more fun. Estate sales are just like yard sales, but you just walk through the house of most of the time dead people.
Climate control.
And so it's
yard
actually
sale.
kind of sad because you're like rummaging through some dead dude's tools.
That don't bother me at all.
So, and a lot of times estate sales, they think more of the stuff because like there's companies that'll post the stuff in advance on like websites. And so all these people that actually care enough, like, oh, I would love to have that Corvette or whatever. And so,
Well, we
they-
ain't buying a Corvette.
but auctions, like, you know, it's awesome because you're bidding against the person somebody sitting next to you. And then it becomes like a point of pride. And you're just like, screw this guy. And then you're just like,
You just paid $50 for pencils.
I would love to be in
But
that
you weren't
environment
bidding
where you
against
did.
anyone.
so anyways, I got another story about. Let me come back to that. But the estate sale thing, I was at one in Gainesville one time, and I'm just walking through, and most of the stuff's just way too expensive for me. I didn't have a lot of money, and I see a baseball, but it was a Major League Baseball, like a real one. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
like stamped.
and so I get it, and I turn it around, and it looks like it's signed by Ozzie Smith. And I'm like, so I Google Ozzie Smith's name and his signature, and sure enough, it was identical. And so this is bad.
wizard.
So this is crappy. I shouldn't have done this, but I took it and then like held the autograph to my palm and like walked up to the lady. I was like, "Hey, how much for this old baseball?" And she's like, 50 cents. I was like, "Here you go, thank you." And I just left with an Ozzie Smith signed baseball,
No,
and,
dude,
and I still have it.
She didn't
That's
know
part
what
of
she
the
had.
that's part of the game though. That's
Yeah.
I mean that's part of you got to know. I wouldn't feel bad about that.
All right, so this is the first installation of Stump the Superfan, the Office Edition. So we've had multiple people send in trivia questions. Ryan's the one checking the questions. I just looked to see how many responses. Checking the questions and giving me those questions and then comparing them. So we'll see if I can get them right. Whatever.
All right, so we're gonna do two today.
All right.
All right, the first one is from Alex Carter (parentheses) Jason's nephew.
Yes.
All
Shout
right.
out Alex.
Yeah,
He just graduated.
who's I see his story. He's kind of an incredible kid, man.
Yeah, he is.
Like so,
He's got a successful YouTube channel that he won't tell me the name of.
really,
Yeah.
I'm on it. I'm gonna find it.
All right.
All right. Anyway, all right. So Alex says in the Christmas party episode, Michael gives up on Secret Santa and changes it to what game?
He calls it Yankee Swap.
Yep.
Some
Accurate.
people call it what is
Is
it?
it White
Dirty
Elephant?
Santa, White Elephant. Yeah, yeah.
Yep. All right.
Wow.
This is the one that I think would be tough. This one was submitted by Logan Davidson,
Former self-appointed student body president.
former self-appointed.
That's awesome.
Yeah. All right. Can you name all of Michael's prominent girlfriends in the show in order?
Yes.
There's no way.
Is that the question?
That's the
Can
question.
I do it? Yes.
In order. You gotta be.
But I
it's gotta
gotta
be-
name him.
Can you do
Okay.
it? Yes or no?
You
Yes,
got. All right, you gotta say a name, and it's got to be in order.
All right. And so, just for you folks who don't watch The Office, he had a lot of love interests that were not prominent.
Yeah.
So I'm
He
making
say-
some guesses.
Yeah, he
All
said
right.
prominent.
All right. So first would be Carol, which is
Check.
the real estate lady. Also, Steve Carell's real wife.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Nancy.
That makes it even better.
Real names, dude.
That
That's
makes
crazy.
it even better.
All right. So then it would be Jan,
Correct.
his former boss. What? What? yeah.
Chris.
They did not. They did not. They did not.
Hey, I just want
What are you trying to say?
I just think he told everybody that they did,
oh, yeah.
but they did not.
yeah. Then it would be Holly, the Toby's HR replacement.
Yeah.
This is where it's getting a little tricky for me because I can't remember because a couple of these were that same season. I think then it's Pam's mom, Helene.
Check.
Okay.
Yo.
Then it would be all
her
right. So if I got them in order, all right. So then it would be the lady who managed like the arcade, Donna.
Yo.
Who was married to the baseball coach?
It's
Yeah, it was
to the
amazing.
baseball coach.
Yes. And then it would have
Who
He goes and meets him.
He goes,
Yeah.
And
With
he makes
Andy.
him talk to him.
Yeah.
it's like he's such a good guy.
He like shakes his hand while he's coaching
Oh,
third.
really? I'd really get into the game if I knew you loved your wife.
And that's when he was doing the date mic stuff. So then it would be back to Holly, and he would have won.
So Logan's answer is Carol, Jan, Holly, Helene, Donna, Holly. That is correct.
Hey, ding, ding,
That
ding!
is incredible.
can't
I'm
Stump
impressed.
the
I'm
Superfan.
impressed.
That is wild. Dude, just so everybody knows,
That was a really obscure question.
we played like an actual office trivia game at my house one time with what was it, 3 couples?
Yeah, I think it was a 3. Yeah,
3 couples, all 3 couples. Well, Anna's not.
Anna's not super into
Yeah,
the
she's
office.
not super huge. All right, but all 3 couples like were pretty big Office fans. We just didn't even keep score because it was just ridiculous. Like I don't even think you missed a question.
I kept score.
Like, yeah, okay. It was Jason, all of them. Everybody else got it correct when it wasn't Jason's turn. Like I really don't remember you missing a question.
I mean, the fact that he can name the women right there, that is impressive.
Oh, there's one more submitted by Miss Jill Boozelinger, and I think it's gonna be
A good one.
pretty good.
We'll
It's gonna be
save
pretty
that.
tough.
We'll save that.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. That's all we got this week. Make sure you're following us on social media: Facebook, Hometown Has-Beens. On Instagram, it's at Hometown Has-Beens Pod. Like the show, share the show. We've still got merch on our website, www.hometownhasbeens.com. Leave a 5-star rating and review. We'll mention you on a future podcast. Today we learned that Chris is a scam victim. Ben has incredible first-timers luck, and I am a super fan. And remember,
It's better to be a has-been than it ever was.
Chris holds the record for most sacks in a season by a quarterback. See you next week.
I've had nightmares. Once you see that, you can't unsee it, bro.
Chris has tears in his eyes right
So you can understand.
It doesn't change the story.
It does. You gotta understand. Like she was so good with babies. I have a theory.
Don't say it. Actually, I'm going to have to cut this.
I don't care. You can
Say
cut it.
whatever
cut
you
it.
want.
Here's the theory.